A wide aerial shot sweeps across the landscape. Below, dozens of elephants move together in calm, steady formation. Each one weighs several tons. Each one is intelligent, social, and fully aware of the herd around it. The ground vibrates with every step. These are the largest land mammals on Earth. Caring for even one elephant is a serious responsibility. Caring for many at the same time raises a much bigger question. How do humans safely manage animals this large, this intelligent, and this powerful at scale? The phrase industrial scale care may sound mechanical, but in the world of elephants, it means something very different. It refers to the systems needed to support massive animals while respecting their natural behavior, food supply, open space, medical care, and social structure all have to work together every single day. An adult elephant can eat hundreds of pounds of food and drink large amounts of water daily. They form lifelong family bonds, recognize individuals, and respond strongly to changes in their environment. When these needs are not met, problems can quickly follow. So what does large-scale elephant care actually involve? How are herds organized to reduce stress? How is land managed to prevent overuse? And how do caretakers keep both elephants and people safe? To find the answers, we need to step inside a giant elephant facility where planning, science, and animal understanding come together to manage some of the most remarkable animals on the planet. To understand how large elephant herds are managed, it helps to first understand the places designed to care for them. So-called giant elephant facilities are not single enclosures or traditional zoos. They are large-scale sanctuaries, conservation centers, and managed reserves that can span thousands of acres. These facilities are built to support many elephants within one coordinated system, allowing room for movement, social interaction, and long-term care under human oversight. The rise of these facilities is closely tied to changes in the modern world. Across Africa and Asia, natural elephant habitats are shrinking as cities, farms, and roads expand. In many regions, elephants and people now compete for the same land and resources. This has increased the risk of conflict, creating dangers for both communities and animals. Managed facilities offer one way to reduce that pressure while still protecting elephant populations. Other elephants arrive for different reasons. Some are part of conservation breeding programs designed to support genetically healthy populations. Others are retired from logging, tourism, or previous captive environments where their working lives have ended. As elephants age, they often require specialized medical care and stable social groups that smaller facilities cannot provide. Managing these herds matters more today than ever before. The cost of caring for elephants continues to rise, from food and land maintenance to veterinary services. At the same time, public awareness of animal welfare has grown. In the United States and around the world, expectations for ethical animal care are higher, and standards are constantly evolving. Giant elephant facilities now sit at the center of these challenges, balancing conservation goals, public trust, and the responsibility to meet the complex needs of some of the most intelligent animals on Earth. Managing a large elephant herd begins long before the animals ever share the same space. When an elephant arrives at a major facility, the first step is intake and classification. Specialists evaluate age, physical health, medical history, and past living conditions. Just as important as behavior, elephants have distinct personalities, shaped by their experiences with other elephants and with humans. Understanding temperament helps caretakers decide where each animal can safely fit within the larger group. Next comes herd structure planning. In the wild, elephants live in family groups often led by an experienced matriarch. Facilities aim to reflect these natural social patterns whenever possible. Some elephants are grouped with relatives or compatible companions, while others may be temporarily separated to reduce stress, prevent conflict, or support medical treatment. Movement is managed through carefully designed land systems. Large areas are divided into zones that are rotated over time. This allows elephants to roam, forage, and explore while preventing overuse of the land. Fencing, gates, and monitoring systems help guide movement without constant human presence. Feeding such massive animals is a daily logistical challenge. An adult elephant can consume hundreds of pounds of vegetation each day. Facilities must source, store, and distribute large quantities of hay, produce, and supplements while adjusting diets for age, health, and activity level. Veterinary care is ongoing and highly specialized. Routine health checks focus on joints, skin, and especially feet, which carry enormous weight. Emergency plans are in place for injuries or sudden illness, using equipment designed specifically for animals of this size. Throughout every step, safety is a priority. Most facilities use protected contact systems, allowing caretakers to work alongside elephants without direct physical risk. These structured processes make large-scale elephant care both possible and sustainable. The scale of elephant care becomes even clearer when you look at the details behind daily operations. A single adult elephant can eat hundreds of pounds of food and drink dozens of gallons of water every day. When multiplied across an entire herd, the logistics begin to resemble those of a small town. Food deliveries, storage systems, water access points, and waste management all have to run smoothly to keep the facility functioning. Even minor disruptions can quickly affect animal health and behavior. Elephants also bring something few other species do: exceptional memory. They recognize individual elephants and humans. Sometimes after years apart, they remember watering holes, feeding areas, and safe routes across large landscapes. Because of this, facilities must design spaces carefully. Sudden changes to land access or herd groupings can cause confusion or stress, so transitions are planned gradually and with close observation. Technology now plays a growing role in elephant management. Many large facilities use GPS tracking collars to monitor movement patterns across wide areas. Behavior data, collected over time, helps caretakers identify early signs of injury, illness, or emotional distress. Remote cameras and sensors allow staff to observe elephants without constant human presence, reducing disruption while improving oversight. In many ways, managing elephants at scale shares similarities with wildlife management in national parks. Both rely on land rotation, population monitoring, and long-term planning rather than daily control. Techniques developed in protected wild areas such as habitat mapping and movement analysis are increasingly used inside managed facilities. At the same time, lessons learned in these facilities often feed back into conservation science. Data on elephant health, social behavior, and land use helps researchers better understand how wild populations adapt to changing environments. These insights turn elephant facilities into more than care centers. They become living laboratories where science, conservation, and practical management come together to improve how humans coexist with some of the most complex animals on Earth. Running a giant elephant facility is not only about daily care, it is also about long-term responsibility. Welfare standards play a central role in how these operations function. Many facilities follow established guidelines that cover space requirements, nutrition, medical care, and social interaction. Regular inspections and internal reviews help ensure those standards are being met. In some cases, third-party audits provide additional oversight, offering independent evaluations of animal welfare practices and operational safety. Sustainability also depends on careful land management. Elephants are powerful animals, and without planning, they can quickly overuse an area. Facilities address this by rotating grazing zones, protecting sensitive vegetation, and allowing time for soil and plant recovery. This approach helps maintain healthy ecosystems not only for elephants, but also for other wildlife that share the same land. Financial stability is another key factor. Caring for elephants is expensive, requiring consistent funding for food, veterinary care, staffing, and infrastructure. Many facilities rely on a mix of support, including donations, guided visits, research partnerships, and educational programs. These funding models aim to balance transparency, public engagement, and long-term viability without compromising animal care. Ethical questions remain part of the conversation. Some critics question whether elephants should ever live under human management, while others point to the risks elephants face outside protected environments. Modern facilities often exist at the intersection of these views, focusing on harm reduction, conservation support, and improved welfare rather than entertainment. As expectations for animal care continue to evolve, giant elephant facilities are under constant pressure to adapt. Their future depends on accountability, sustainable practices, and an ongoing commitment to learning how to care for these animals in ways that are responsible, ethical, and informed by science. In the end, managing massive elephant herds is not about control. It is about building systems that work with the animal, not against it. Every decision how land is used, how herds are formed, how care is delivered is shaped by elephant biology, social behavior, and long-term well-being. When those factors are respected, large-scale management becomes a form of support rather than restriction. Giant elephant facilities offer a clear window into how modern conservation is changing. They bring together science, ethics, and logistics in ways that were rarely possible in the past. Data tracking helps predict health issues before they become emergencies. Behavioral research guides social groupings that reduce stress. Ethical frameworks push facilities to constantly reassess how care can be improved. What once relied mainly on tradition now depends on evidence and accountability. These operations also reflect a broader shift in how humans think about their relationship with wildlife. As natural habitats shrink and environmental pressures increase, conservation is no longer only about protecting distant wilderness. It is also about managing responsibility in shared spaces, where human systems directly affect animal survival. Looking ahead, the methods developed for elephant care may influence how other large species are managed worldwide. Advances in monitoring technology, veterinary practices, and welfare standards can be adapted to animals facing similar challenges. From large herbivores to marine mammals, the story of giant elephant facilities is ultimately a story of adaptation by people as much as by animals. As science advances and expectations evolve, these systems will continue to change. The goal remains constant: finding better ways for humans to coexist with some of the most intelligent and powerful animals on Earth, not through domination, but through understanding.